Hello guys, a very warm welcome. It's Chuma here, back with another video, and for today I am sharing with you guys my natural hair journey, the struggles and the triumphs that I have had in my 7 years of being fully natural or natural and all of that good stuff. I don't know how long this one's gonna run, guys. I'm literally just gonna tell my story. If you want to grab a cup of tea, grab a couple biscuits. It's a little bit of a story time, hair journey, get to know me session. So I don't know how long it's going to be. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Grab what you need to and settle down. So I have actually shared my hair journey with you all. In the beginnings of me being a YouTuber, I did share this with you guys. But my goodness, if you look at the quality of that video, ooh, child. Let's just say we've come a long way. Let's just say we have come a long way. So as it is officially my fro-versary month, tail end of November, even though this video I know is coming out in December, but just work with me here, work with me. I thought I would share my natural hair journey with you guys. Now, if you guys have been riding with me from the beginning, you already know this story, but I'm gonna go ahead and recap, recollaborate for all of my new subscribers who are still getting to know me, who wanted to know a little bit more about my natural hair journey. And so here we go. So I always say that I became natural, or I transitioned accidentally. Not that it was a mistake, but it was like, oh, I can carry on doing this, so I don't need to do that. So what I found, and this was back in 2011 to give you guys some context. So I have been natural now for about 7 years. 2011 is when I started transitioning, if I'm doing maths right. Yeah. 2011 is when I started transitioning, and I started transitioning after a very bad experience of DIY relaxer. If anybody has ever experienced this, trying to relax your hair yourself, some people have been a lot more masterful than others. I definitely wasn't. I actually got the help of my niece, who is an analytical chemist, so I thought that would help the both of us in the process of actually trying to get my hair relaxed. So usually what I would do is I would go to the hairdressers to get my hair relaxed, but budget cuts, guys, this was one of those times where I just had the box, I grabbed it from the hair shop, and we were going to make it do what it do. Like, I was gonna be DIYing. This was going to be the time. Now, before that, I would find that my hair would relax, and it would relax okay, and I wouldn't need to relax it for another 3 to 4 months. So I would roll on, relax it, but then I found that, you know, it would press really well, had the hair straighteners, so every wash day, blow dry, straighten, and it would be absolutely fine. Like, my hair would be straight, it would be great, it would be, you know, what I needed it to be. So the day that I was doing the relaxer, the DIY with my niece, was one of those occasions. But I did always find that the relaxer wouldn't take as well, even when I went to the hairdressers. Like, certain parts of my hair wouldn't relax as well as others. And so the final moment was obviously when I DIY'd. My niece helped me with this. Shout out to you, Natasha, shout out to you. We went through the whole process, and it was just, not that it was a shambles, like, we got to where I needed to be, which is obviously have the regrowth relaxed and treated and all of that kind of stuff. And so for me, I was just like, well, okay, like, I guess I'll stop relaxing then. It wasn't a conscious decision at the time. I just generally stopped using relaxer because I was just like, you know what, I don't need to relax my hair anymore. I can just continue straightening my hair and it would be okay. So every wash day I would blow dry, I would straighten. Every wash day I would blow dry, I would straighten. Obviously, me not knowing what I'm doing to my hair, goodness me, transitioning was a little bit difficult, to say the least. Like, the fight between the regrowth and the relaxed hair, the two were divorcing, and so they were at arm's length. Like, it was arm's house every single wash day. It would just be so tangled, my hair would just not be manageable. Like, there were so many obstacles that I had to jump and hurdle over before I could get it to, let's blow dry, let's straighten, let's, like, you know, let's do what you need to do. The rest of my routine didn't change. The only thing that changed was just relaxer. I stopped relaxing, but my wash day was always the same with the same products. That the styling process was always the same. I would always blow dry, I would always straighten. And so as I gradually started to transition, every single time if I got my hair pressed professionally, then they would trim it for me as well. So gradually over time, you know, my regrowth started getting a little bit bigger, and then the relaxed hair started shrinking, because every time I would go in, I would trim, I would go in, I would trim. So that's how it would work. But again, like I wasn't conscious of my hair or what it was doing or anything like that. I gradually transitioned, so let's FWD to not really knowing a lot of products that I needed to use, by the way. So I'll share some of the products that actually existed. Like, I wasn't one to go and search for things at that time. You know, there was some kind of YouTube momentum going on for natural hair, how to style it and all of that kind of stuff. My default was always wigs. So a lot of people will be like, wait, Chuma, you were into wigs, you were into weaves? Yes, I was. I love my big curly wigs. Like, they were just life. I love my big curly wigs, love my weaves. So by way of helping me as well, my hair wasn't always out. A lot of you guys know me, and you know that I very rarely protective style now. But back then, as you can imagine, it was all the craze. Like, you were going to protective style or die. That's what you were going to do. So yeah, like, there were so many occasions where I would just rock out my wigs, rock out my weave. They had different variety, but I like big hair. I really like big hair. I would also braid, so I would go through all of the different hairstyles that you can think about going through while I was transitioning, you know, and then when I'll take it out, wash it. And I didn't wash that regularly as well. So a lot of you guys know I wash a lot more regularly now, but I didn't back then. It was like once a month, once every 2 months, depending on the style that I had. My hair gradually transitioned, so I think like the last time I went to the hairdressers, they pretty much chopped off the rest of the relaxer, and I was fully natural. I would say this was probably about 2012 into 2013. Like 2014, I guess I was going through stuff. Like, I'd gone through a breakup. I've always been the type of person that I've genuinely loved my single life. Like, I've never felt like I've needed to be in a relationship. I know that I've always wanted comfort, but I very much enjoyed being single, knowing that there was going to be somebody right for me. Not to say that I wasn't looking. I would date and all of that stuff. Generally just enjoyed being single. I guess this breakup for me was a little bit... And so there were things happening tail end of 2014. And then I was about to go on holiday with my cousins. We were about to do Tanzania and Zambia. So we were going to go to Tanzania for a friend's wedding, and then we also thought, well, we're border, like neighbors, so we might as well hop into Zambia. That's exactly what we did. We did a trip from London to Dar es Salaam, and then pro-flighted to Lusaka, Zambia, and then come back to London. That's what we did. So I was like, oh, what do I want to do with my hair? Like, I don't want anything that's too heavy. You know, I don't want to do braids when I get there. I'm just like, what is it? And guys, I've always been saving, this is gonna sound so sad, I've always been saving the big chop for when I became pregnant. Which obviously still hasn't happened yet. So I've always told myself, oh my gosh, like, you know, I'm gonna cut my hair off so that, you know, when I know I'm expecting, I'm gonna, you know, cut my hair off and then let my hair grow with my baby. Can you imagine? But obviously, like, I had no man. I was not going to be expecting anytime soon. I was like, okay, by this point, I'm like, I'm 27, and like, what is life if I don't live it, and if I'm not spontaneous, and if I'm not doing things for me? And so I said, let's big chop. Let's just cut it off to start again. So in the words of Coco Chanel, a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life. And that's generally what I did. I feel like a lot of things started to take place. Pieces started to fit into puzzles, if that makes sense. And so I went into FFA. Shout out my barbers, FFA, who hooked me up. Frank Franklin hooked me up with a dope cut. He went really, really low, but he used like the sponge thing just to be able to shh. So I did the big chop, guys. I lived my best holiday life. I was in Zanzibar living it up. Like, I was just like, yes, I'm loving the freedom. You can just get up and go. So I loved it. But I came back and I landed and my head was cold, guys. My head was so cold. I said, what have I done to look good in pictures? For holiday pictures, I went and chopped off my hair. When I landed at Gatwick, I was so, guys, it was cold. Because me and my cousins went at the end of November into December, actually. And then I came back in January, like beginning of January. And I was like, oh, it's so cold, it's so cold. I loved my hair, like I loved the big chop, but boy was it cold. So if you're thinking about doing the big chop, yeah, think about the season that you're doing the big chop in, because that will, you know, you'll definitely need a lot of hats to be able to compensate, I'll tell you that. Anyway, so I came back and, you know, started to obviously grow my hair back again, but I just loved the TWA stage. I just loved the whole feel of it, and it was just nice. Like, I really, really liked it. The only thing that I would say is that I was slightly insecure. So I felt like, and this is more of a me thing, I felt like the help if I left the house without makeup on. I genuinely felt like, oh, because my skin wasn't the best then, so like I had breakouts, so I scar very easily on my face, and so like I get a lot of these black dots anytime that I break out, and obviously I mess with my spots. So my skin wasn't the greatest, so I felt like I couldn't leave the house without makeup. And so I feel like for the first year after my big chop, it was a makeup filled year, because I felt like I had to overcompensate for not having hair with my face, which shouldn't have been the case. I should have been okay, but that's what happened. That's how I felt at the time. And so that's the only bit that I think about in hindsight, that I'm like, well, what would I have changed, or what would I have done differently at that time when I did the big chop? And it would have been just to wear less makeup, just to actually own who I was in its entirety, like stripping everything off and then just being comfortable and confident in who I was beyond that, and everything else is obviously an enhancement. And that's the only thing, because at times I did feel insecure. Like, I can't even lie, like I will be the first person to tell you there were times where I was like genuinely like, oh no, like oh no. I sympathize. I always sympathize with people who have done the big chop, and then there is that awkward stage before you get it to a length where you can start playing with your hair. Like, guys, I completely get it. That's why a lot of people start doing a lot more protective styles, because it's like, what do you do? And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to start my platform, is just so that I could share those struggles and triumphs that I was going through. I still want to wear my hair out, it's still okay, but what are you doing? Like, how are you styling it? How are you managing it? And I completely understand, guys. I completely get it, because I know, looking back, I'm like, there were times I was like, what am I doing with it? What am I doing with it? Like, what am I doing with it? Anyway, I was dating while natural this whole time, and I want to mention this because it leads into who I'm with right now, who has been my rock for the last 3 years that we've been together. I met the mister in 2015, and I had a low cut. So if I say like my hair has grown with our relationship, that's why I always put like my hair growth or my hair journey with our relationship is literally been a journey, guys. It's been a journey. We've been rocking together ever since, but he's literally grown with me. And then the one and only time that I did protective style is when I started transitioning into a different role at a different company. I went away on holiday for a friend's wedding to Ghana. I got braids done. That was my first protective style since I'd big chopped, if I can recall correctly. I think it was, because my hair was at the right length by that time to be able to get braided. So I got braids done. They lasted me a while. I actually interviewed in those braids. So I was confident enough to actually interview in braids, which is strange because the next job that I interviewed for, I didn't think I could go with my natural hair, and so I got this, or maybe it was a combination of things. I didn't think I could go with my natural hair. I just wanted something a little bit different because it was cold and I didn't want to have my hair out. So I had like this full bangs length, like a straight wig that I had that I was rocking. I was rocking that for like 2 months. The mister didn't like it as much. He was not a fan. He was not a fan at all. So I got the new job, and this is where I am now. But obviously, as I am, because I'm all natural all the time. And it took a bit of time to actually gradually like ease my way into it. So after I had like the wig, I then did crochet braids. So I did like Senegalese crochet, like Senegalese twists, but they were crochet. So I did that, but then at some point I had my hair out, and then just said, you know what, I'm just gonna continue having my hair out, and it was gonna be okay. And so they're used to me having my hair out now. Like, it would be the strangest thing for me not to have my hair out at work, because it's like that's what they're used to. Every so often my colleague jokes about, and she's just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I interviewed someone completely different because they came in with this straight hair, and then now here you are. So we're always laughing at work about, you know, the style that I came in, you know, how I interviewed versus like how I am at work now, which is like pretty much my natural self or whatever. Also in 2016 is when I became a YouTuber, is when I did my first video. You guys would have remembered back in June 2016, and I did like 1-2 stint videos on my borrowed equipment from the mister, and borrowed, you know, iMovie from his MacBook. He's literally like was my support system at that time, because he was just like, if this is what you want to do, we're gonna make it happen. Like, listen, you know, because he's a filmmaker as well, so he was just like, just, you know, borrow the stuff that you need, and, you know, we'll figure out the rest later. And we pretty much have done that. Like, I've gradually got my own equipment, got my own this, got my own that. So I will do a separate me being a YouTuber video, but I just wanted to let you guys know how everything ties in with my natural hair journey. And what going natural, returning to natural has done for me is I have given myself permission to be who I am as I am. Like, everything else that I do is an addition, but it's almost feeling like I've centered myself in a way. Like, I'm unchanged. Like, nobody can tell me who I am. Like, I have grown into this woman that I have become in my 31, almost to be 32 years, and I'm just loving it. Like, I'm loving the journey. Trust me, there's still very much struggles that I go through daily. Like, you guys have seen me through my bald spots, you know, growing those out and all of that kind of stuff. And like, sometimes it's just so difficult. Like, it's so challenging all the time to faff about with your hair. Sometimes you just want to get up and you just want to go, but you have to faff with your hair. Like, you have to do something with it. You have to wash it, you have to do this, you have to do that. But I would not change it for the world, guys. I honestly, like, I love it. Like, I love my kinks, my coils. Like, this is just how God made me, you know? Like, I don't know. I can't even imagine how life would be without my hair this way. It's really strange, you know? How you can kind of like come back, and then it's just made it, it's just full circle. Like, it's just, I don't know, I can't explain it, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, I'm the one actually getting too excited. But I just wanted to encourage anybody who's out there who feels like they want to transition or have transitioned or want to be big chop, and they have big chop, but it is a struggle. It's a challenge every step of the way, because you don't know how to deal with your hair, you don't know how to manage it, you don't know what products to use and all of that kind of stuff. But what I always say is, just know that there are others who are going through the same thing, who are sharing their stories, and it's like loads of support systems as well. Like, Facebook is huge. Like, you've got so many groups from all different backgrounds that you can actually like tap into, that will be your support system for like what you need to be able to start your hair journey. When I big chopped, that's when I made a more of a conscious decision about, you know, what I was going to be doing with my hair, the products I was using and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, the natural hair movement started to boom by then. So there were a lot more natural hair products on the market, on the scene. There were social media, all of this kind of stuff, all of that imagery started to pour in that was able to help me better understand my hair, better understand what my hair needed. And YouTube, as much as a lot of people don't like YouTube for certain things, for me, it's what helps me every single day. Till this day, I'm like, oh, like, I just watch videos, and sometimes you get to choose what you take in out of a video. Anything that we say here as YouTubers is not Bible. It's not written in stone. It's just honestly our opinions and what we're sharing as part of our journey. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm the guru of this and the guru from that. You know, I'm working towards becoming a hair coach, but that takes time and building up of knowledge and all of that kind of stuff. And that's why I haven't proclaimed out here like, or willy-nilly, oh, I'm this or I'm that. Just know that I am going on the path and on the journey to be able to help others, because I really want to be able to help anybody out there that I can, just to be able to give somebody confidence and encouragement that they can take care of their hair and it would be okay. If you needed a hand, like, just know that I would be there. Just to let you guys know, like, this is what I'm working towards. And like, I'm not a guru or anything like that, but I'm here to be able to help and lend advice based on my own experiences. And then hopefully that will be able to help you as well. So I just hope that this story inspires somebody, encourages somebody. I know it's a little bit flimsical here, there and everywhere, and I'm adding pictures in and about the place, but I wanted it to be free flowing and to tell you guys a little bit about my natural hair journey so far. You know, like, these last 7 years have just been like a journey in itself, but the fact that I'm here now and the fact that I am able to share my story with you guys is something that makes me really happy about and really proud about. And the fact that I don't have to worry too much about whether my hair is growing, as long as my hair is healthy, guys. That's all I'm worried about, maintaining healthy hair. And that's all it is. And so yeah, that has been me, guys. That is my natural hair journey so far. Happy fro-versary to me. It has been a journey, ongoing journey as well. It does not stop here. I've got loads more for you in the coming year. I'm gonna experiment, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and all of that kind of stuff. But for now, that's it. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Also, comments below. Is anybody transitioning? Has somebody gone through the big chop once, twice, maybe 3 times? What are the stories? What's the tea, guys? Can we all comment below just so that we can encourage each other, share our stories? So I hope that we can comment below, because I will really appreciate it if you do, and can continue this conversation. If this is the first time that you're checking me out, or you're returning and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a beat. Also, turn on the auto notification bell. That way you know every single time I post a video. Alright guys, and until next time, bye!